Hey everybody, so Sammy's asleep right now, so I think I can get a little bit of work done. Today's mini lesson, I think you guys covered this while I was gone on maternity leave, but I wanted to go over area, which is length times width. Length is how long a shape is, width is how wide a shape is. Usually for me, length is up here, and width is the side right here. So, what length means, this is length. I'm going to label my rectangle. This is length. That's a cursive L, by the way. And this is width. And usually for my visual, for me, I like to remember the area is multiplying. So I put an X right there. Okay, so area of a rectangle is length times width. We're going to be focusing on area of rectangle. So, I want you guys to get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, whatever you want to use. You're going to draw a rectangle. These are, for me, this is always fun. Okay, so this is called a formula. Area is length times width. Okay, so area, the A stands for the word area, equals, so this is how you figure it out, length, the long side, times width. Remember to be very, very, oh, he's waking up, hold on, I gotta bounce really quick. I gotta bounce and shake. I apologize, the video's gonna shake. Okay, he's back asleep. Okay, so remember we're gonna be using units of measure, so it's gonna be like feet, yards, inches. Make sure to label. Label. I'm pointing at you, label. Okay, so let's say the length, this is going to be, let's say this is 4 feet. Okay, and let's put 4 feet. So rectangles, they have sides that are the same. So this side and this side is the same. They equal the same. This side and this side equals the same. Okay, so we're going to say this is 2 feet. This side's 2 feet. Okay. Now you might be looking and go, Mrs. Grant, wait a minute. I thought it was just length times width. I have 2 lengths and 2 widths. Well, we're going to ignore 2 of those. So what you can do is you can actually erase this one if you want and erase one of these. Okay, and just focus on 1 length and 1 width. I usually put my multiplication symbol here to remind me it's multiplying. So to find the area of a rectangle, you're going to take your length, 4 feet, multiply it by the width, 2 feet. Okay, well, what's 4 times 2? 4, 8. 8. Oh, I guess I'm done. What do you mean no? I'm not done? Oh, what did I forget? Labeling. Don't forget the label. Okay, so in area, we put the feet, and because we multiplied it, you're actually going to put this little 2 up here. It's called squared. Everyone say squared. That little 2 means that you multiplied 2 measurements together. Okay, so when you are doing area of a rectangle, you need to make sure you put the measurement, which is feet or whatever they're measuring in, and put the little 2 that's called squared. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and erase. You're doing these with me. Okay, let's draw another rectangle. And let's label this. This is going to be 10 yards. And this one's going to be 3 yards. Okay. I always put my multiplication symbol on the corner because then I remember area of a rectangle is length times width. Length is the long way, width is the wide. So 10 yards times 3 yards equals, well, count by tens 3 times. 10, 20, 30. 30 yards. Remember, if you're doing area of a rectangle, you need to make that little 2. That's squared. That means I multiplied 2 measurements, 2 sides of a rectangle together. Okay? We measure in square measurements. So make sure you put your measurement, whatever you're measuring by, and put squared. Okay, so the answer to this one is 30 yards squared. do one more. I'm going to try to trick you with this one. Oh, Mrs. Grant, you didn't do that one. That one's standing all different. It does look a little different, but the long side, this is the length. Okay, this is the long side. Width is the shorter side, in my opinion. That's how I look at it. So let's say this is 9 feet. 9 feet. And let's say this one is 5 feet. Okay. All right, so how do we find area of a rectangle? We take the length, the long side, we multiply it. I'm going to make my little multiplication symbol in the corner, times width. So we're going to go 9 feet. Make sure to label, use your measurements, times 5 feet equals, okay, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do 10 times 5, which equals 50. But I want 9 times 5, so I'm going to take one group of 5 away. I know I'm making it a little complicated. That's 45 feet squared. So if you just count by 5s too, you'll get the same answer. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And then make sure you're doing your measurement, feet. And when we're finding area, it needs to be squared. You need to put a little 2 up there. Okay. All right, we're gonna do one more. Okay, sorry, my rectangles are a little off. I'm doing it one-handed. Okay, this is gonna be 6 yards. This is gonna be 7 yards. Okay, your formula is length, long ways, times the short way. So I'm gonna do 7 yards times 6 yards. Okay, well, I can draw 7 groups of 6. I can draw 7 circles of 6. I can count by 6s. So I'm gonna go 6, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. 42. Make sure you put your measurement, whatever they're measuring by, yards, and put squared. Okay, so this was a mini lesson on area of a rectangle, which is length times width. Okay, all right, go ahead and get started on your assignment for the day.